So a manga I've been keeping up with for a while now finally got an anime adaptation that was disappointing to say the least. The Record of Ragnarok manga was this super entertaining tournament series that so many people was fond of. The manga's art style is amazing and every fight contained a compelling backstory that made the battles 10 times better and gave depth to both characters fighting. When an anime got announced for this series, I was excited to see some incredible animation that goes even beyond the beauty of the manga. However, that was just not the case with this anime adaptation. Netflix dropped the entire first season of the anime in one go, and after binging the entire season of 12 episodes, the anime did not live up to the hype and excitement that I and everyone else had for this adaptation. The anime had a lot of problems that definitely wasn't there when I was reading the manga. With the series being focused around battle and intense fighting, I was expecting the anime to have good or at least decent animation, but most of the fight scenes were just dull and didn't really provide the excitement that the manga constantly gave. All we see are still images and no dynamic movement, with the exception of a few scenes that was nothing special to say the least. The Lubu vs Thor battle, which took place in the first couple episodes, was the only fight in the entire season that I can say wasn't bad. The pacing wasn't amazing, but the fight didn't really feel boring and uninteresting in comparison to the later fights in the anime. The scenes wasn't as fluid and dynamic as it was in the manga, however it definitely was the most visually appealing fight in the entire season. From comparing it to the manga fleshed out the background of Lubu and Thor a little bit better, however the animation wasn't as bad as what we see in the following episodes, with the most disappointing part of the entire anime which turned the adaptation from okay to just straight bad. Adam vs Zeus. I think everyone who has read Record of Ragnarok can safely say that Adam vs Zeus is definitely one of the best fights in the entire manga, but ironically it turned out to be the worst fight in the anime. The excitement and intensity that kept me on my toes whilst reading this fight was completely lacking within the anime. The introduction of Adam was okay, and the intro for Zeus definitely would have been fine as well if they didn't use that clunky CGI. Every scene within this fight looked very mediocre and the pacing was just straight up awful. The sadness, excitement and hype that I felt whilst reading this fight was just not there within the anime. Every impactful scene that the manga provided just did not hit within this battle. Aside from the fight, Record of Ragnarok provides you with an attachment towards the characters that makes you want to root for them regardless of what side they are fighting for. With the Adam vs Zeus fight, due to the completely dull and rushed animation, you could barely see the struggle and intensity of both fighters who are using their all to win for their ideals, rendering this fight to be a lot worse than the source material. There was even a point in the fight where it looked as if it was made in PowerPoint with some basic transitions put on the frames to switch it back and forth between the crowd and the fight. It was a very disappointing experience watching this fight, knowing the potential it had and the hype it could have provided. Compared to the other fights in the anime, Adam vs Zeus was pretty horrible, whilst the Lubu and Sasaki fight was just very mediocre. Aside from the main theme of the story, which was adapted poorly, there was a couple things that the anime actually done very well. The voice acting was actually pretty good and fit the characters very well, especially with the main Valkyrie and Adam. The music was also pretty fantastic and spot on, with every scene having the right soundtrack to go with what was being portrayed. The opening didn't really appeal to me, however the ending wasn't bad at all. The composer worked on Naruto and a few other popular shows, and with Record of Ragnarok he did not disappoint. In conclusion, the most important thing that I want you to take away from this video is to read the manga of Record of Ragnarok. It is honestly an incredible read that you should definitely check out if you enjoy high octane battles and very compelling backstories. Everyone loves tournament arcs with anime and manga, so read Record of Ragnarok as it is completely based around the tournament and it's super entertaining. The anime adaptation we received unfortunately did not do the manga justice, but if you haven't seen the anime yet, I suggest that you skip it and just read the source material. The state of the animation really was a disappointing sight to see after the excitement that I and everyone else had while watching the trailer. With Record of Ragnarok's main concept being fighting and battle, good animation is integral in order to create a good adaptation that elevates what the manga is currently doing. We can't appreciate and create an attachment towards the characters if there is no dynamic scenes that truly portrays what the character is putting into the battle. As I stated before, this was extremely prominent in the Adam vs Zeus fight, which was a very big step down to what we saw in the manga. The anime wasn't completely horrible as it had some decent moments, however if you're going to experience the story of Record of Ragnarok, the manga is 100% the way to go. I believe the manga has around 47 chapters released at the time of this recording, so it's still in the early stages with a very promising future. If you would like to see more anime and manga related content, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Even though the anime for Record of Ragnarok wasn't what we expected, we still have the amazing manga to read and experience. Thank you guys for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.